You don't want to be rug pulled by an NFT project. You'd rather not sit in front of your computer for hours wondering if you'll ever receive something for the ADA you just paid. Me neither. Today, I'll share some tips on how to avoid that and what part you can play in this scenario. I'm Niels, and I own a lot of Cardano Summit swag. Today marks episode 3 of CCC, our bi-weekly show about the Cardano NFT scene. Let's see if I can keep it a little shorter this time, since a lot of folks seem to fall asleep after about 7 minutes of watching. What I want to talk about first and foremost today is an issue we are seeing more and more commonly in the current NFT and CNFT scene: rug pulls. First, let's define what that even means. Unlike buying cryptocurrency, most NFTs are not inherently designed to hold any specific value other than the NFT itself, which commonly includes a reference to an image or video and a bunch of metadata. If you buy an NFT, you own it. And unless you give it to somebody else, it cannot be changed or burned anymore. If there is no additional utility tied to the NFT, no one can drain the liquidity fund and make it less valuable, which is what defines most common crypto rug pulls. Without utility, it is pretty much the same as me buying this is fine dog pop icon from my retailer around the corner and then giving the retailer money. That's pretty much the same for NFTs. Best case is you pay whatever the mint price is and you're happy with owning the NFT, showing it off to your friends and having philosophical discussions about the nature of art. However, there's not a lot of excitement in just owning art for many people, which is why collectibles exist. Artists and project owners create artificial scarcity by adding rarity traits and only minting a certain percentage of their NFT with a specific feature or visualization. This means everybody mints at the same price, but the perceived and very subjective value can go up significantly if only 0.1% of all items in a collection have this very specific trait. So how can you get rug pulled if no one can take your potentially rare item away? The first way is related to the policy, which I talked about in detail in my video about Cardano NFTs for dummies. I'm linking it at the end of this video if you want to learn more. The policy ID defines how long you can create and destroy tokens for a given collection. As long as a policy is active, the owner can mint as many new tokens as they want. This means if they wanted to adversely affect the NFT's economy, they could create hundreds and thousands of additional NFTs, potentially even sell them to make additional profits. And all of a sudden your super rare becomes more common. Because of that, I highly recommend to check out the policy of any project you want to participate in. There are valid reasons for policies to not end right away after the mint, but open-ended or very long-term policies usually indicate the creator did not pay the attention to their project fundamentals as much as they should have. Vice versa, as long as a policy is not expired, the project team could technically burn items that were minted but not sent out. However, that would increase rarity and would probably not be considered a rug pull by everyone. The same would be true for projects that don't mint the full amount of NFTs their collection initially is announced to have, which is what happened at the Tiger Society NFT, where they decided to mint roughly 1,000 less than the original 10K because their original sale was a disaster. This might have made some Tiger owners happy because their items became even rarer, while others that did not even get a chance to mint because of that were left standing in the rain. So policy and changes to the number of minted NFTs, that is one way for your NFT to lose value. The more insidious rug pull, however, is based on broken promises. Many of the NFTs you buy today have the cost of future development included in them. That means the team behind a project is promising something ahead of the initial sale that creates a sense of value for the buyers. Some random image that you wouldn't buy for 10 ADA all of a sudden becomes interesting for a price of 40 when you can use it as a character in an upcoming game. Others say they will build a marketplace, breeding, burn events, airdrops to existing holders, etc. Unfortunately, there is no way to hold the project owner really accountable after launch. They could just up and run with your money that you would not have given them unless they hadn't promised a roadmap. So far, 2 larger projects seem to have succumbed to that fate, namely the Gingerbread Squad, where the developers have been AWOL for quite a while now, and the infamous Coco Locos, which still rattles people's cages. Even though with the latter, at least the original buyers were refunded, it still does not help anyone who paid top dollar on the secondary market. Another reason why this kind of behavior not only affects original buyers, but the whole community. There are of course more ways you can get rug pulled. For example, if the project uses stolen art, but it is not discovered before the sale. This was the case for the trippy degen apes, which just collected ADA with likely stolen art and then disappeared instead of minting any NFTs. In many of these rug pull cases, the best way to protect yourself is to be vigilant and ask people knowledgeable in the space if a project really looks safe. The trippy degen apes rug was actually reported to me by a fellow NFT enthusiast. Because of their quick action, it even allowed me to screen grab the Twitter of the degen apes before they subsequently deleted it. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on updates from me, since I'll continue to be active in the space and will tweet out any smelly project as soon as I get wind of them, and potentially ahead of time, pointing out warning signs. Or join our Discord. The news will also land there. Another good move you can make to prevent and avoid fishy projects is to look at the history of a team behind the project. Have they been doing stuff on other blockchains before, or have a project their NFT is based on that shows they are legitimate? Have they been actively engaging the community and been transparent in their announcements? Not everything will go well, but a trustworthy team will tell you when there's an issue as soon as they get wind of it, and they will also tell you what they're doing to remediate it. Then there's another way to do bad stuff with an NFT project, as if there aren't already enough, and that is called wash trading. Most recently, Astrobuns, the blatant Space Butts copycat, with, in my opinion, pretty mediocre art, got caught doing this. What that means is after minting, you generate a fake trade on the secondary market, selling some rare item from your collection for an exorbitant price. Some price that is not what the market would usually pay. But instead, it's a sale that the project itself funds, or that is done between a party that is in the loop on the trade and is reimbursed accordingly. The idea is that the whole project gains value due to those big sales that then get pushed and announced via Twitter and other CNFT analytics tools. Thankfully, we have watchful eyes everywhere, and blockchain technology makes it easier to discover such schemes than ever. I'm pretty sure we'll discover many more ways of rug pulls in the next 10 years in blockchain technology. What exists in the meat space with Ponzi schemes and everything that goes along with them will unfortunately but certainly find its way into the digital financial world as well. Lastly, I wanted to mention there is a surefire way to avoid rug pulls in the NFT space. Just buy what you honestly like. If you're willing to shell out 8 ADA for a Muse card you enjoy the art of, or 50 ADA for a late mint unsigned algorithm, and you're looking forward to putting it into your profile picture or making a glossy print of it, then go do it. There's no rug for anyone to pull out under you if you really like the NFT. It doesn't even matter if you get it at mint time or on the secondary market. Enough talk about the bad, let's talk about the good and what is going on right now, and cover some of the projects that have been out there in these last few weeks. A variety of them have launched since the last episode, and in between, we had a whole Cardano Summit, as you can see in the background. It was a fantastic event with lots of great opportunities to meet the movers and shakers of this oh-so-young Cardano industry. Because there were a variety of events across the globe, each had their own share of cool people from the community. Our stake pool Hazel was in Wyoming, where we got to see Charles live and meet fellow stake pool operators, dApp developers, and NFT artists alike. I talked to roughly 60 people across the whole weekend and made a whole bunch of new friends as well. Hopefully you had fun online or in your location. You had the chance of meeting Alyssa and Trevor from the Never Engine in New York, Shweta from K-Blocks in London, or Linda from Malu Pool and the Entheos NFT project down under in Australia, as well as a whole lot of other awesome presentations and people. My favorite drop of the last 2 weeks in terms of new ideas brought to Cardano definitely was the Deep Vision Artificial Intelligence NFT that launched on October 1st. While Entheos, which I covered in my last video, is basing their design off a seed image that is parameterized through your inputs, the Deep Vision project is based on vector quantized generative adversarial networks and contrastive language image pre-training. VQGAN plus CLIP in short. I just really wanted to say that out loud once. I think my brain just got 10% bigger just by doing that. There's a link with a basic explanation in the description below though, but what it means is, in layman's terms, that the NFT is based on text input that then is used to feed images to the neural networks that do the final art generation. Needless to say, some terrifying, amazing, and messed up shit comes out of this algorithm. Some of my favorites are right here, and like many other generative art projects, you, as the owner of the NFT, are entitled to all rights. What I would have liked, based on my shallow understanding, is that they would have embedded the textual inputs that go into the creation of the image into the metadata for each piece. Not sure that this would have been possible, but it definitely would have revealed a lot of uses of the term grandma. Another big one I can't fail to mention was the Yummi Universe drop. This one has been a bit in the making, and the project is based on the Hungry Naru, which has been a successful Instagram project that has now broken through into our CNFT world. Isn't it adorable? I can't quite put my finger on why the project was as successful as it was, despite the cute art though. They've seen 2.1 million ADA in volume in their first week, but what I do know is that the launch was somewhat smooth despite the blockchain being clogged up pretty significantly when this and another big drop happened at the same time. I've got a video in the making that will explain a little bit more how we as a community can avoid this, what the role of CNFT creators in this project space can be, and to clear up a few misconceptions about what minting does and does not mean. Stay tuned and subscribe and turn on notifications if you don't want to miss it. Last minute insert. Turns out I need to squeeze in one other project that wasn't in my original notes for this video. Mycelial Gallery just announced their second burn event. These folks really love to experiment with game theory and have delivered on every promise they have made so far. 2 months into the project, and from launch to burn execution, this project has been flawless. People that are more into completely unique PFP avatars are missing out on it simply because of the quality of the art. Now they've announced their second burn for October 18th, and what you get out of that will punch you out of your socks right into Tron land. Take a look at this awesome animated digital frame of Ada Lovelace that is coming out. It will also throw the current Rarity distributions off balance and will leave us wondering what will be the most unique thing next. The team behind Mycelial has unapologetically stood behind their vision of making art for art's sake and are using blockchain utility as a way to introduce interesting dynamics. Stay tuned for that event and visit their Twitter and Discord for further details. As honorable mentions, we have a bunch of projects today that I will breeze through to not give you another 20-minute episode. If you want your project mentioned, make sure to report it via the Google form linked in the description below, and I'll add it to the calendar and check it out. Or DM me on Twitter. As a disclaimer, I do not take money to promote any of the projects I talk about on this channel, and I do not plan on doing so in the future. I will gladly review or preview any project that reaches out to me, but my opinion will be unbiased, and I will tell you ahead of time if I receive any compensation for something that I talk about. With that out of the way, I've mentioned Dracano last episode, a cool anagram for Cardano with beautiful hand-drawn dragon art which has sold out their first season of Juvenile Dragons. Stay tuned for more from this creator as they slowly build awareness. Boobly has launched their pre-sale on October 1st and released their Rarity charts. They've also announced some really cool things for the roadmap that I really hope will come to fruition. As they're building out their Boobly comic and web TV series, and launching their characters, they've announced that if you own a specific character, you will be able to earn royalties when this character appears in the comic or show. In addition, they have a giveaway going for those folks that are able to collect all of the different characters. So you want to be on the lookout for those drops on October 8th and November 5th. Icons by New Mindflow finished their minting process as well and closed their policy for the 3 NFTs they built with a smart contract embedded in their metadata. Now they will be airdropping another beautiful piece to holders called Yele, and everybody who owns the full collection of icons will get it. They also announced that the rarity of the Yele piece will be matching whatever your set rarity is. Since not a single Ada Lovelace rare was minted, in my opinion the most beautiful of the collection, they had the community decide if there should be a dedicated mint with an auction attached to it. The community decided against it, and I appreciate that the New Mindflow team asked the people which supported them to begin with to aid in their decision. These folks, by the way, are also releasing the tribbles if you have not seen them. They're on season 6 now and also worth checking out. We saw Ada Slime sell out with their cute pixel art, and I managed to miss another block of Aeonium Sky because it launched while I was at the summit. I've also been made aware of some of the wonderful 3D art by Frederico 4D. Freaky stuff that you should give it a look and support if you like it. Then there is the Encryptons. Their team is working on a game for the CNFT space which has been giving me Mario vibes with their world art. They've had their first season character drops sell out and are now on season 2. The nice thing about this project is that it embraces all cryptocurrencies and they have characters representing a variety of the known currencies in our space. Check out Cardano Buffa doing reps, Polkadot Cookie baking good stuff, and Bitcoin Bytes showing his chompers. Screw crypto maximalism. Lastly, Frank Hampus Wesleyan deployed his new Algo Marbles collection, which is also about to sell out. Only about 30 left out of the 512 total. No surprise after the success of the Stained Glass series, which only had 100 to give out to collectors and went within a day. Get your marble today, links in the description below. Thinking about this, I gotta ask one thing though, what is it with everyone and marbles? Cardania is doing marble Twitch streams every Friday, giving away NFTs. Aeonium Sky makes marbles for exactly that event. 21 Club with their goofy gang sold marbles as club cards. Something's up with marbles and I'm not in the loop on it. Apropos streams. I stream every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific on Twitch, and you're welcome to join us for deep conversations, gaming, and Cardano talk. You won't regret it. For more launch dates, check out the calendar I linked in the description below and the ever-growing awesome website, whencnft.com, by the makers of the 21 ADA stake pool. Consider staking with Hazel to save a cat, and with that, adios and stay frosty.